Hello, Sagittarius. How are we? I don't know why I sang that there, but anyway, welcome back to Marion K Tarot. This is going to be your reading, Sagittarius, for May 2025. Today we are pulling an oracle card from the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck by Marcella Kroll. We're going to be using a very slippery plastic pink holographic version of the Rider-Waite-Smith. And as I've been using these for the reading, Sag, I have to say, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle keeping them in my hands. So, let's see what shenanigans we get up to this time. Okay, now, interesting choice of words there, Sag. Have you been up to some shenanigans? What have you been up to, Sag? Right, let's see. A card, please, for Sagittarius. For May 2025, please. Okay, Sag. Interesting. Leo, get this card. Wow. Okay, Sag. Psychic. Are you the... You know what? I'd say after Scorpio. Well, see, I'd say you're not necessarily the psychic, but I'd say you're like the astrologer of the zodiac. You're like the zodiac's astrologer. You get that wanderlust, and I think that's what's going on with you, Sag. It feels like there's this desire to wander. Feels like you've been hemmed in too long. Have you not been on an aeroplane for a while, or you've not been on a journey? It feels like everything's just a bit samey right now, and you don't like it, and you just like no, it's not happening. There's something. It feels very much like there's something missing, and it feels like you need to go and search for it. And maybe you need to use your intuition. Maybe it's your intuition that you need to really lean into, Sag, to work out where the heck it is you're going. Because there is this energy of, oh, well, I don't know. I'm doing what everybody else wants me to do. And I think maybe you've forgotten yourself for a while, or you've been in pursuit of dreams that don't necessarily work for you. And you've maybe been helping other people complete their dreams. And you've realised to yourself, oh, actually, this doesn't align with me. I need something else. Okay, so interesting times, Sag. Put that there. And we'll see what the tarot has got to say, shall we? Let's see what the tarot's got to say. Have some cards, please, for Sagittarius. Oops. We're not taking them. See what I mean about them slipping and sliding all over the place? For Sagittarius, May 2025. Seriously, no. Stop coming out. Right, we're taking that in because it came up for the top. Right, get a Six of Pentacles. So I mean that giving energy's shown up, Sag. And it feels like you're just a bit pissed off, to be perfectly honest with you. It's like, oh, here they go again. What are they wanting now? What do they want from me now? Whoever they are. Right, let's see what else we've got. Two of Swords. We've got the Empress. We've got the Devil. We've got the Six of Wands. We've got the Queen of Swords. Right. At the bottom of the deck, we have got the Magician. The Sag, this is really interesting. Because, I'll tell you for why. Leo got the Six of Wands. So they did, and I cannot remember the rest of their cards. Well, no, they had all the Leo Wands cards, so they had the 5, 6, 7. They had the Hierophant. Did they have the Hierophant? Was that somebody else? Oh, I cannot remember. Tarot amnesia. Sad, you know what I mean. However, what is interesting is you have got the Empress and you have got the Devil here showing up. And then you've got the Magician at the bottom of the card. There's shifts happening, Sag, you know. It is like you have been building and building and building and giving and giving and giving. And you feel tethered. You feel trapped. This is the words that are coming through to me so clearly. It's like somebody is shouting at me. It's almost like somebody is shouting into my head, please free me. Please. And it's like trapped as in like the devil energy being trapped in, you know. It's like initially you thought it was what you wanted. And you chose to go down this path. You chose to go in this direction. And it wasn't that anybody forced you, you know, it wasn't as if you were like kidnapped or anything sad, you know, emotionally kidnapped or mentally kidnapped. You know, it wasn't that, but it was that you've just came to this crossroads where you're sick and tired of giving and no feeling like you're getting any results from it. And I don't mean in a calculated way. I don't mean in a way that signals to people, oh well, I just give to get. It isn't that, you know, that is not the energy that I'm picking up on. The energy that I'm picking up on is that you're just pretty pissed off, to be honest. You know, and it's like there's this level of deep frustration going on and you don't quite know how to get out of it. Because at the end of the day, you know, you keep thinking to yourself, oh, well, I chose this, you know, nobody forced me. But it's as if, you know, you just didn't quite expect things to be the way they are. And it's almost like, and I'm not saying this for anybody who's in an actual relationship, it feels like there is this, like, feeling where, it's just a tip of my tongue and I can't get the words formulated. It just feels like you were you were over promised something and it's just under delivered, and it's almost like the honeymoon phase is over and it's like you're hitting the reality, the situation of what you're actually in now, and you're like, oh shit, you know. And it could be a personal relationship, it could be a relationship with your kids, it could be a relationship with, you know, your partner or whatever is going on, but it feels like, you know, and it could be a physical property. You know, it could be an actual property that you've got. And this here, this Six of Pentacles, this charity, could be that you have just been pouring money after money after money into this particular property. And it's like a black hole, you know. It's just like a money pit. And it it's no going to, you know, it's just like you've got to the end of your tether and you're now at the stage where it's like, right, why am I putting all this effort into it when it was never what you wanted in the first place, but you thought you did, or you wanted a version of it. Here's the thing, Sag, right, between the psychic card, the magician card, manifestation, there's a call for peace, right? And it's interesting because I kept saying that a bit to Leo as well. There was this call for peace. Maybe it's with all the fire signs. Maybe it's the fact that Neptune has been in Aries and it's bouncing off all these. You know, but I mean, you're pretty sheltered right now, Sag. You know, there's not really much going on in your sign. Certainly things will start to heat up once the sun goes into Gemini, you know, and it's opposite you. But there's not really that much astrologically going on. You know, you're pretty quiet, but if you're a Sag ascendant, you know, Aries is your fifth house. So there's loads of activity going on in your fifth house right now. So that's like family, desires, fun. That's like the kind of what astrologers refer to as the fun house. But there is a lot going on. There's this kind of a push pull. The There might be hints of some kind of toxic relationship, and again, that doesn't necessarily mean with a person. You know, where when we talk about relationships, anything can be relational. It can be with yourself. It can be with your neighbour next door, for instance. You know, if you've got a neighbour, if you're lucky enough not to have neighbours, I'm very envious. Mine's are obsessed with cutting their grass and doing gardening work because, you know, that's a thing. Um, what else? It could be that it's it's this, and you feel like you don't have a right to actually complain about it because again there was this like you walked into this through choice. You made the choice to go in this direction. But here's the thing, Sag. Here's the silver lining you have been waiting on. If you're still with us, here's the thing. You've got this victorious card. You've got this, you know, the conquering hero card. That's what I like to think of this card as, the conquering hero. You know, it's like the soldier returning from battle or war, or you know, or it could be like actually just a jousting competition, you know, and they won. But it feels very much like you're leaving us behind, you know, this victorious, whatever the pathway, whatever the you chose to accept from the devil, whatever pathway you decided to go down, there's a sense now of beating it, of seeing it to its conclusion, and because you know you've got this, you've got your back to the devil now. And then we get the Queen of Swords, and finally there's some clarity in your head. And the Queen of Swords is facing forward as well. You know, it's like these two cards, the outcome cards, if you like. Um, they're facing in the direction you're right. What's coming next? And I think for you, Sag, what it is that's coming next, it's entirely up to you. I think there's been some important lessons learned over the last while, and the way that you now see the world is very different. And that isn't a bad thing, you know, because you enjoy opening yourself up to new experiences, Sag. And but sometimes it's like, yeah, how uncomfortable, how and how much in your discomfort can you be, you know, before you need to just say, right, I've had enough of this and I'm going to go and do something that's slightly more comfortable. But if there is a property, etc., speaking as a Taurus, if there is a property or some kind of a thing that you're pouring money into and you're not getting any returns, it's time to make a decision, you know, because the status quo cannot continue. So that's that's what a May is looking like for you, Sagittarius. Enjoy things, enjoy the season, enjoy Taurus season, enjoy the sunshine if you're in the sunshine. But yeah, you're going to be fine. You're always fine, Sad. You know, so you just sad your way through things, and everything just seems to be okay. It falls into place. But this time, you may have to be a bit more active in your pursuit of finding what works for you and finding the right path for you in this time and moment. Okay, my loves. If you would like to work with me, the links is in the description box. If you fancy subscribing, if you've not subscribed, please consider it. Oops, because you know we just have so much fun over here. Okay, my darlings, you take good care. I'll see you again. Bye.